And we're live on the twitch.tv/the streaming the Hermitcraft on a Saturday morning, early in the morning. I haven't been awake for more than an hour. So expect some derpy, sleepy talking. Ugh. Today we start a new mega project. Gusty Gale is stoked about the new mega project. Awesome. Also, I'm glad you're stoked. Becca, thank you for the bananas in chat. Lets me know that we're live. So we're just going to casually stroll all the way back to my base from a place I've been working at. I've been projecting. I've been building, creating. Morbrick says morning derpie. Derpie, eh? That sounds like the plural of derp. Loch Ness XD is here for 4 months. It's been 4 months already. Love the stuff, dude. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. What's the mega project? Says Lednar 14. We'll find out very soon. Doofus 230 is here for 7 months. Thank you, Doofus. Doofus. That reminds me of the Scary Movie parody. That's what they call him, isn't it? Oh god. Yeah. Usually my morning routine involves having a shower and then a stretch. I haven't done either. I just went straight out for a walk. I felt like doing something different, and I'll tell you what. Doesn't wake you up the same. Doesn't wake you up the same. I'm gonna have a stretch after this stream and then head out for the day. So yeah, in order to stream, just had to sort of squeeze one in this morning, basically. This is the only time frame I really had. Anchi, thank you ever so much for 5 months. Muriel Wolf, thank you for 5 as well. And we got Becca 11 for 21th. 21th? Just made up a new word. It's too early to think of a funny quip. However, you could just say happy birthday. It was the 5th. Happy belated birthday, as they say. Belated. It's the only time I ever hear that word being used. That background music is creepy, says Dagadrick. I like creepy background music. It'll suit where we're heading to. Speaking of which, though. Yeah, this might not be the place I actually need to go, I guess. Let's check my shulker box for... Okay, we'll put our dirt in there and then we'll go get some bones. I am using this dirt for a project, believe it or not. And I'm probably going to end up, you know, eating a fair bit of bread. So tired, I just burnt my mouth with tea, says Adam. Dang, that sucks. I got a hot cup of tea right here. I best not burn my mouth on it. I do feel so unawake compared to normal, though. Mimi 17032001. Thank you for 7 months of support. Greatly appreciated. So now I need to concentrate. Talk about being sleepy. Ominous black box. What? What's that ominous? That is a lot of beacons. What is going on there? Anyway, we need to go in this direction. And I think we need to go down at this level. Yeah, I'm slowly remembering it. Over here. And off to this spot. You sounded like a villager just then, says Pig TNT. Maybe I did. Hey, can you please stop being British? Very interesting request. Sure. Let me just stop being British for a moment. How do I do that even? That doesn't even make sense. Right, we'll use the Easter basket for some bone blocks. And we'll get some bone blocks from here, of course. I wonder if there's any more that need crafting. My suspicion is not, because I think after I finished crafting, I didn't AFK again. Yeah, there might be like the odd bone here and there. But wow, look at all that. Dang. Well, there you go, there's some more. Go on then, we'll craft up a little. I enjoy this so much. My favourite activity, crafting bone blocks. There you go. We ain't going to run out anytime soon, but we will need all of that and more. And more, considering I'm going to use it for today's project as well. Since it's now just a block that's useful for what we're going to do. Like, it'll be visually standing out. And I have a means to get a lot of it easily, then it's the block that I'm going to use for both. Are you building your base, says the Thinky? I am not building my base, but bone blocks are being used at my base too. I have placed an extraordinary amount of them, and I'm getting close to... In fact, I think episode after next will be the revealer. What is going on here? There's a crazy amount of beacons. Right, that leads to my base. Where am I going again? Yeah, we're going here. I'm going to need to use my camera account today for this mega project, right? Do you have any tips for mining ancient debris, says Beamy Boy. Yeah, I mean, if you watch some old episodes of Hermitcraft, it'll probably be Season 7, around the 1.16 update. You'll probably get some good tips in those episodes. Essentially. We need to head down below. Right, I need to launch my camera account. Let's undertake that. And I've spent some time scoping out the underground area of Hermitcraft. What's the project? I just joined, says the glitched. I'm about to announce it. G-Stir Master says, metal announcement thumbnail told me I had to come here. Well, this stream has nothing to do with metal. I can tell you that. Or maybe it's just the most metal thing we'll ever do. I don't know. Ow! Probably don't need to come all the way to the bottom here. What I do need to do is get my noises in the ear back on the screen, and we got a new one from Entflix. Subscribing. Thank you, Entflix, for the subscription. With your camera account, do you have to pay for another version of Minecraft to be able to use it? Yep. It is a different account. Right, so I can see my stream, or screen, yeah. I can see my stream on the screen. If I do that and log in over here... Oh no, this is going to be spoilers! Get rid of it! Oh no, it's not spoilers. Of course it's not spoilers. Right, now you're seeing my camera account. That's not actually what I wanted. Huh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. So this thing is for the main one, and I guess I've lost... Right, so I have to do the second one manually. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if I can make it work still. I thought it was on there. So now... Hello? There is a little bit of a delay. There we go. Nice, nice. Right, and I've got to remember to press T. Or just to Alt-Tab. Oh. Oh, sorry, just had like an unusual cough. Ugh. Right, I'm the Angel, thank you for 9 months. Cole Hoko Babyer, thank you for 6 months, greatly appreciated. Right, so you'll see that with the camera account we can go under the ground. And essentially what we're going to do today is plot out the Elytra fly course. I want to get started on this now. And this is a project that I'm probably going to do more just on stream than anything. It's a bit of a grindy one. That, I think, is the first geode that I found, so might want to create an entrance to that at some point. So somewhere around here is where I want the race to start. It's this spot here, and you can kind of extend it possibly backwards, the racing bit, to about here. Yeah, this is kind of all dead-endy. So above that, you know, we might make like a little up-down elevator, and this thing will be somewhere in the wastelands then, I guess. Cool. Anyway, heading back down. The beginning bit, and yes, you're looking in the top right of the screen. Beginning bit is simply here. And then we go off in this direction. So watch what happens. Like, in fact, it tends to be easier to just view it from the outside. So if you follow this, you know, it goes all the way along here, and you can fly through that with your Elytra. Now, you could take a left turn here and go off in this direction. And again, these caves just kind of like spread out, loads of spots to create an Elytra course. I mean, you go all the way over here, and this isn't actually the route that I intended. See, I spent a lot of time doing this, and you just go all over the place, really. Oh no, this is the route, because it comes up to the stone level, yeah. Right, and then there's going to be spots where you're not sure where it goes next. So you come down here, and then like we might have to cut through to another little vein, and then come through to this dripstone bit. It goes on and on and on. And we're going to fly through this camera account plenty of times, and get lost, and you know, keep having to check back and forth. But yeah, this is the original bit. Now I was thinking when you get to this bit here, it'll be cool to do like a run off in this direction. Okay, go all the way down to these dripstone caves, and then you can come around and across, and it comes back, and then somewhere around here it kind of runs out. Diamonds! It kind of runs out, and so maybe we have to dig a way back to this spot here, if that's even it. See, it gets super confusing. Anyway, I spent a lot of time and I got a rough idea of where to go in my head. So we'll start work on this in just a second. Lose your bearings, super easy. Well, let's go to me. And then where do I have to go from here to get to those planks of wood? Right, that direction. I'm pretty sure I can get there from this higher bit here. Yeah, that's right. So you go down and around. Okay, it's very simple. Just got to go up there. Right, let's head over to this spot then. This will be where we start working on it today. And off we go. The Snail 78, thank you for 5 months of support. Greatly appreciated, my dude. I don't know which side. Oh, it's somewhere here. Oh, no, go down. There you go. Got it. Right, we might see myself wander onto the other screen. We might just see that if I'm in the right place. If not, it doesn't matter. Yeah, look, I'm in the right spot. Okay, so something like this water here needs to sort of end. I need some blocks to be able to place, right? And we need our bone blocks as well. Let's pick up a few of these. We're going to need... Now, I could say we need torches. I feel like replacing everything with a glow lichen can make this really atmospheric. But for today, we're going to focus on getting bone blocks in here. And the trick will be that bone blocks will always be on your right-hand side. That's how you follow the course. So, to begin with, I'm going to call them ribs as well. I probably should have brought some more torches with me. Now, that's not going to be enough to block off this, is it? Do that. So yeah, the player's going to fly through this spot. And I'm just going to picture it as a case of like layering some of this over the edge. I thought it might be nice to make them curved, but... Oh, do you know what else might help here? Like if we have a grid, like it's one block off from the grid, so we could say that every 16 blocks we're going to try and aim for another one of these. There might be a decent amount of spacing right there. Okay, and then you come to your first like problem area, which is that you got all of this in the way. So we're going to open this up a little bit is the idea. Right, where are we with those noises in the ear? Joe BB3, thank you for 5 months of support, my dude. Greatly appreciated. We got Brooksy96 for 49! Do you watch any of the other Hermit's videos or any non-Hermitcraft Minecraft creators? Yeah, I watch a few other non-Hermitcraft creators. I don't really watch so much Hermitcraft anymore. Not this season, anyway. In the past, I'd like watch everyone's, but I wanted to do things different this season and decided just to... Gonna play a little bit more on my own, I guess. A little bit more disconnected. Wow, this like big square chunk here is quite thick. If you look at it though, it feels like it's one of those pillars that generates in big open caves, except it's just generated here in our little tunnel section, whatever that's called. Dang, it's gonna be dark in here without any light, isn't it? So yeah, it's our job now to open this all up. Let's. Oh, I do actually have torches. Okay. And what we'll be doing periodically is actually flying through this thing on today's stream. So it won't be a case of just like building it and being like, there you go. We'll fly through it plenty of times to get a feel for it and all that kind of stuff. And there's probably no point setting up beacons, right? Like, because I'm going to be moving through the terrain so often. So that won't really be a thing. And we will get a few things like gold, maybe some diamonds too. AJ Main, thank you for 27 months. Greatly appreciated as well. What's the second cam for? Great question. It's so you can see the course as we work on it. So I'd be wise to just keep moving it, really. Gonna collect some ores while we're here. You never know, they might become useful later on. X, just make a weld eater instead of mining manually, says Surprise T. Yeah, let me just build a weld eater too, because you know, it eats the weld, and all I need to remove is this small little section of blocks here. I'll just make a weld eater, shall I? Oh, yeah. Jeez, X, just use creative mode. What? Who said that? Doc's weld eater was phenomenal. Yeah, it was. I got to fly over there, and I didn't see it in action, but I kind of get the idea of what it would look like. But I got to see the perimeter. Very cool stuff. Very nostalgic for me. So I do kind of want to, in some way, make the bits that I dig out, like, look natural. You know, not look like I've dug it out, but I'm not going to fuss too much about that. We just need to open this thing up so that the elytra can fly through. A row of TNT would work faster than a weld eater for X's project. Yeah, I was thinking using some TNT to like blow out a passageway bit would be really interesting. But hey, this is just a really cool project. I wanted to do this since the beginning of the season, and I talked to the other hermits about it. There was a bit of interest, so that was promising. And then, you know, at what time do I start this? And I realised that the way I'm doing my videos and stuff at the moment, there isn't really like a lot for me to do on stream. So I like to have something grindy and simple to do where I can chat to people. And it just kind of occurred to me, this is that. Like, if I just hop on with the camera account, so you can see how I'm figuring out where this thing goes, we're just going to spend a lot of time doing this, you know, just mining away blocks. So it kind of made sense. Cuplex, good to see you in chat. Well, we don't want to chat to you, says Cuplex. God, what a mean... Jeez. So I'm all excited to see Cuplex. Oh, by the way, I got 18 minutes and I remember my cup of tea. Well, we will have to take a break right here, won't we? Yeah. Drink some tea. Varo Seuss, thank you for subscribing. Neen Tarts, thank you for your subscription as well. Leon Bitter says, are you going to make it fly through a mine shaft? Only if the mine shaft intersects a big open area. I don't think flying through an actual mine shaft as is makes sense. It's too narrow and small and you'd easily hit your head on the planks. I'm not trying to make a skill race. I'm trying to make a fun, long fly through the caves to celebrate the update. Sana of Scarva, thank you for 27 months. How's my day been going so far? This is my day. I woke up, went for a walk, and then started streaming. Why does it have to be absurdly early? Because I got a busy day ahead of me with stuff that I'm doing. X, I don't know if you know Mario Kart very well, but you could make the course like Yoshi Valley, where you have different paths to take at the same location or continue to a loop. Because I don't have like a lot of control over where these caves go, it doesn't make sense to do multiple paths, I think. If I turn it into some form of competition, everyone needs to have the same like level playing field. So if I did make alternate paths, they'd probably end up being with the nature of the caves, that one will always be better than the other, right? Some good morning tea right there. I had a steak yesterday. I had a ribeye steak. I always had it in my head that I didn't really like steak. And I always just... meat in cuisine is always just like, oh, there's the meat to me. Like, it never really seems that special. And I got to admit that the steak was really well... When I say really well cooked, I had medium rare, but it was a tasty steak. But like, it's just a slab of meat. I wasn't terribly impressed. Yeah, I had a steak yesterday. Right, you see how we got like these little pockets? We could sort of fill in some spaces and smooth stuff out. The pockets will be from where like gold or whatever has been extracted. Right, so also we want to put in... Okay, was the first one inside this chunk? Yeah, okay. So our next little thing goes about here. That one's quite oh, I should have put another bit in it. Quite a dull one, really. Oh, that's the other thing. I could sort of make them go like more like that, like halfway across. So then down at this level, let's just go like that. And then down here we could go like... Yeah, I think I might end up putting in a few more blocks just to make it look more crafted, I guess. You can kind of get that double sound from the camera account here as well. Right. Yeah, like I could add an extra few blocks just to make it look a little chunkier. That definitely looks better. Way, way better. And then put those there, right? Yeah, this is the way to go. Okay, so it'd be that one, this one. Oh, that's the other thing. You could also do the whole course in reverse. So I might want to consider how it looks from both directions. Okay, and again, I'm going to like try to fill in some of these gaps just so the course feels like a little more consistent as you go around. Less plundered, I guess. We don't want things spawning down here as well. Here's another overlay I could use, right? It might be beneficial for me to change that now. Renders. Let's try... light? Something to do with light. Overlay light level. Nope. Maybe it's like in an option. Let's just type light in each of these. I forget where all the stuff is. Level coloured numbers. Level number rotation. It won't be in info lines. It should pretty much be in this one. So overlay light level is true. But it'd be, whatever it is, it would be set to true. So it's not in there. Biome single overlay. Enable vanilla debug rendering fix. Dang. Oh, here we go. Light level coloured numbers. Maybe that is it. We'll get in there. Light level number rotation. Oh. Okay. It could be that actually the setting is false somewhere. I can hear something coming towards me as well. What we got down here? Light levels again. Okay, right. Oh, maybe it was already when I searched it and I kind of skipped over it. So you got spawnable. Always, no. Okay, that's not it. Square, always. Dang it, I can't remember what the thing was. Okay, someone in chat probably knows. I'm gonna read this noise in the ear and then look at chat. The Snowy Husky, thank you for 10 months. The Nine Gods, 75 months. What a crazy number right there. And CJ Gibbons, 88 for 26. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Xisuma says use the search. I could use it again. Sky Access. Ah, Sky. I was thinking there's another word, isn't there? It's not just light, it's sky. Light level number offset. Okay, so that's the position, I believe, of these two things. Like if I went... Actually, I probably don't want to mess with this too much. Like... No, okay, I don't know what that is. So I thought it was in renders. So if we search renders for sky... No. This might take us a minute. It must be set to false then. Because you come in here to change the two light levels. Set it to both. Didn't see what it's set for, says Jones. Okay. Both. Ah, light level numbers. So that doesn't particularly hint at it being the sky, but when we hover over it, it does say... Actually, it doesn't really hint, but that's probably it. There you go. Okay, so block, sky, or both. And it didn't pop out because it didn't have sky written on it. There you go. So that enables us to, you know, see that the areas are going to be safe to stop mob spawning. I don't know how far I'm going to go with this stuff, but I just want to make progress today. So I think we'll focus on our bone blocks and our path, and we'll turn that one off for now. It puts a lot of extra stuff on the screen. Okay, more bone blocks are required. Wow, this is like super tall over here, isn't it? Dang, that's crazy tall. I don't know what it's going to look like. Like we might establish, oh, it don't look very good. Let's not do that again, you know. So as we embark on this project, I'm sure we'll encounter a bunch of questions and find some answers, and then gradually build up like a set of rules that we just kind of grind through as we're building. Yeah, it feels to me like let's get rid of the lines. Like, it's okay, but like, you're not going to fly up there. It feels like this thing should be telling you where to fly a little bit, as well as just being how it is, right? So somewhere around here, I think we kind of lose the plot a little bit. Maybe actually there's fine, so we'll go like that. And get rid of all of these bits. Is it going to be a single tunnel, or are you going to have shortcuts but harder, says Colonel Coffee? It's going to be a single tunnel. It'll be packaged as something you can do for fun. We might add a time trial, like a race. I'm not going to overcomplicate the game because it revolves a lot around exploring the caves. I wanted this to just be like a bit more of a celebration of the Caves and Cliffs update. As I think what they've done for the game is fascinating. Like, you still spend, like, after playing this game as long as I have, you're still going to spend most of your time doing projects, farms, you know, doing what you do. But this aspect of the game has been overhauled, and it's super interesting to explore these caves. And then, you know, after a while you'll get your fix. The caves will just sort of become the new normal. But I think the lasting legacy is that they will always be way more interesting and fun than what we had before. Like, what we had before, you will get bored of. What we have now, there'll always be like some little moment to come down and check it out again, and you'll enjoy it. That's how I feel about it. Right, and I think we're kind of close to having a little fly through. Now, the next one's interesting because we start to turn a corner, and at some point we might want to use some diagonals here. Not sure when though. And we got a noise in the ear. It's Despina321 for 28 months, and Becca's gifting a sub to Leonard M54 for 10 months. Thank you, Becca, for gifting the sub And Leonard, be sure to say thanks in the chat. We always appreciate the gifting of those subs. Okay, so we'll bring it down like that. Right, and then it goes a fair bit higher. Yeah, so here's where, like, keeping an eye on the height might be useful. It sort of looks like someone came up here or came down through, like... I think someone pillared up. It was probably me, actually, to get whatever's there. Because I remember going through this cave, like, right at the very beginning. Probably on a live stream and stuff. Right, so yeah, you come over to this bit. It's pretty obvious where you're going from here. Right, now the bones might start to turn. So I think what we'll do is we'll put in our first diagonal one here. And then we're going to have one that's not diagonal next. Diagonal bones. Sounds so curious, doesn't it? I'm going to drink some more tea before it goes cold. MakeNot89, thank you for 26 months of support. Greatly appreciated, my dude. You should make custom biomes, like one with a bunch of amethyst geodes, and your own custom lush caves, says Pig TNT. I'm not really in the mood to make custom biomes at the moment, or this season, really. I don't think that's going to be on the cards for what I've got prepared. And I do have things prepared, peeps. Oh, the preparations. Wow, I'm starting to accumulate quite the amount of deep slate over here, aren't I? So yeah, that one should probably be changed. There you go. I think that'll do. Can I see it on the other one? That's super helpful, actually, having the camera account like that. Now, I got a triple monitor set up, and even with that, I mean, I used to run all of my stuff on 2 monitors. Now I run it on 3. I could set it up like I had 2 monitors again and use the third one for the camera account, and then it would be like super productive. Super duper productive. I could just glance over and see how we're doing. Speaking of which, on to the next one. Diamonds! No, it's emeralds. Oh, I thought I found some of those incredibly valuable, precious blocks. I thought I found some. But no, it was a mirage. I say a mirage. Let's, one more there, I think. That looks kind of cool. Let's check that out on the camera account. Maybe go one further. It's kind of cool, actually. I can definitely make them look a little more interesting and artistic. Oh yes. There you go. Right. On to the next one, which will be somewhere down here. So how y'all liking this project? Is this a cool idea? Are you excited for it? I tell you what, after this one we're going to go fly through it as well. Ah, look at that. We got yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky in terms of maintaining the curve. I think what I might do on this one is just experiment with what happens when... Yeah, let's check the curve. I could probably do one more block. What happens now if I were to sort of close up this gap here? I mean, I guess I kind of don't need to close up the gap. Because you could fly on that side of it a little bit, but maybe if I just close it up a bit. It's not like the worst thing ever. Actually, it's pretty simple to close up, isn't it? Yeah, we'll close it up like that. Then that way, there's never going to be some confusion. Right, we've got to turn off this. We need to enjoy it more atmospherically. Sano of Scarva says we've been basically quizzed on this. I haven't been paying attention for the last 10 minutes. Okay, right. Well, if your opinion then is that you don't know what's going on. Oh, get the Emerald Deep Slate for Zedaf. Oh, okay, alright. He's after that, is he? Shauna Vane, 1998, thank you for the Prime. DHG Ifrit, thank you for 5 months of support. Greatly appreciated. How rare is the Emerald Deep Slate then? For some reason I didn't think it was that rare. I know that coal, Deep Slate coal is the rarest, right? That one's super difficult to get. Rarest block, says the koala guy. I've got a feeling it's not. Okay, so how quickly do you whiz through all of that? Pretty quick, but dang, that's going to make for a fun little adventure. I feel like the spacing is really good. 16 blocks between each one. That's terrific. Great idea to use that. Hamp219, thank you for 4 months. Greatly appreciated. X, I started playing Create Above and Beyond yesterday and have quite enjoyed it so far. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. How awesome. Right, I don't need a bed down here. I don't know why that's on the hotbar. And as we will, we'll tidy up things a little bit as we go along. Right, for the next one, we're going to be about here. Dang, I tell you what would be super cool if someone like didn't know about this project and they were just like exploring the caves one day and they're like, what are these bones? You might think they're like ancient fossils. Fossil fossils. Which is the thing I just made up. Oh. Yeah, such a goofball. Oh, dang it, that one's not supposed to go there. Oh, does it go a little bit higher here? I think it does. And what I'm going to do is just put it there. There we go. Nice. There's another one done. That one's a very crooked looking one, isn't it? Very odd. Okay, so to the next bit. Remember, they always stick to the right. Because the right is the right. It couldn't be wrong, could it? How's that curve looking? Eh. Also, when I build this, I'm going to end up always putting torches like nearby, which is actually probably a good thing, because that then means the bone blocks are going to be like nicely illuminated. And you're going to be able to easily see where you're going. That one's a little hard to see actually when you come round. Because we've got this blob here. So we'll get rid of that blob. Let's get the camera count to sort of see it from there. Then we can see how much of this to remove. That's kind of okay. I think I'll go for one more layer though. There you go, right. So it really opens up here, doesn't it? And we want to tell the player to keep to the right. And here's where we need to, like... We're going to go down here. I know we don't, but let's see where it leads. Okay, it kind of leads into a bit of a mess. Then you could go down into this space. Wow. Floaty Geode. Maybe like do a turn back on yourself. Right, so let's have a look again. I knew when we get to this open bit, we'll end up going back that way. But it's how we get there. So we're going to go through this space. Potentially like way off into the distance down there and then find our way back. I think I'll probably just stick to that. If we try and add a little something because there's this, it looks like it needs a lot of work. It kind of looks like it doesn't really go anywhere. So we'll stick to the plan there. I am on a pillar. Oh yeah, the Deep Slate Emerald. Kai555, could you repost your question if that's okay? It literally was just going off my screen. It looked like an interesting one. Where was that emerald? I'm going to have to do this the cheaty way, aren't I? Oh, it was all the way back there, was it? Okay. I thought it was closer to the bone block for some reason. There it is. Oh, Becca, thanks for reposting it in my chat. That's awesome of you. What's up, Xisuma? Hey man, I got a question. So I just bought a house and I'm thinking about making one of my bedrooms a studio for Twitch/YouTube videos and streaming. What advice do you have? Because I haven't done that before. All my friends are saying I should because I'm good at talking to people and they can be entertained and uplifting for people I meet. What is your thoughts? You should absolutely go for it. You should absolutely give it a try. Why not? What I always say though to people who are who have ambitions to do what I do, or something similar, is to not throw money at the problem. Like you talked about dedicating a room in your house. If you've got a spare room you can go into, put your computer in, give this a shot, that sounds good. But like, don't fall into the trap of buying a bunch of expensive streaming equipment. I mean, I've got a few fancy things now, but in reality I still use like a very cheap headset. And I feel like the value that you offer as a streamer doesn't really come from buying a lot of expensive fancy equipment, right? It does depend on what type of stream you're doing. Some people do streams that revolve around technology to some extent, right? It depends on what you're doing, but if you're here to talk, you just need a microphone, right? So my advice is absolutely give it a shot, but don't throw money at the thing. Just give it a try for a few months and see where it goes. You might not gain any traction. You might find out it's not really for you. There's a lot that can happen. But just, you know, everything you need to do this is driven by like a microphone and mostly software. So, you know, don't fall into that trap of buying all these expensive preamps and microphone things. Like, see that time and time again, and I just think, you know, it's like it's barely worth it in my opinion. At least for me, it isn't worth it because, you know, here I am using a cheap old microphone and plugging away just fine. There we go. We'll do that there. Just check it on the camera count. Looks good. I think it needs a bit more light up top. Is the only issue. Needs a bit more visibility up at that level. Right, so if we go through this spot and we put a bone thing here, I think what we're going to have to do is chop this part of the cave off, level off these floors, and then bring the player down over here. This is where we have to start really carving the cave a little bit more, don't we? So it's about to get interesting, chaps. And when you come back this way, I don't know quite how I feel about that. Something like this, yeah, that tidies it up a little bit. Because I'm sure hermits will probably want to end up doing this in reverse a little bit, is the idea. Hey, Evil X is around in the form of G-Staff. For 75 months, hey X, I've got a little problem. I've gotten stuck in a musical rut. I'm not feeling music anymore, and music I do enjoy, I think, is more due to nostalgia and less due to the music. Have you experienced something similar, and how do you get out of it? I've experienced it like a little bit, but because I have such a deep affinity for music, it's almost like just thinking about it snaps me out of it. But like it sounds to me like you should just find something new to listen to. I have listened to music for so long now, and you know, you do tire a little bit of some old acts that you really enjoy, and some that you you know, were mad about at one point in another. You've heard it so many times, it does lose its charm a little bit. There's no harm in that. But the trick is to find new stuff, I think, to keep it fresh and exciting. And yeah, whenever I'm perhaps not digging music quite as much as I think I should, it tends to just be like finding something different. And I'm not like, when I say different, I think I mean like style, like genre. Not just like hey, I listen to metal all the time, and now I'm gonna go like listen to some other metal, because it's all quite similar sometimes. It's more about just having something that challenges you a little bit, something that's out of the box. So yeah, maybe just go look for some playlists on Spotify or something. Just try and find a few keywords that will throw something your way that's a bit out of the ordinary. Right, checking that out there. That looks terrific, that does. I think it really encourages you to go through here as well. But we'll leave that a little bit open-ended for whoever's flying through to decide. Medigos, thank you ever so much for 9 months of support, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream, entertained and all that. I didn't notice this thing sort of goes out to the side too. And the Arctic Vikings here for 40 months, asking how I am. I'm doing good. I'm doing just fine. Just going through the days, enjoying my projects and things that I'm up to, you know. Xisuma, are you going to see Zealanardor and Meshuggah? Whoa, I didn't hear about that. Usually I get notifications when bands go live. Yeah, that'll be yeah, potentially one I'm interested in. But the thing is, I've sort of fallen out of the habit, the routine of going to gigs, and I don't know. It just feels like maybe it's a bit of like a new chapter or something. I just haven't felt that infused about getting back into it. Probably will be when there'll be some like new artists to go check out, as opposed to seeing the same old ones again. But like, Meshuggah would definitely be a good one. I'm trying to place these so that like the deep slate faces up, just so it feels a bit more authentic. No one's probably ever going to notice that, but I think it will go away a ways. Like, if you don't notice it, it'll still be there. Yeah, this is the way to do it. I didn't even realise Deep Slate faces different ways. Yeah, it does. Kai says, yeah, I figured I would start with a budget. I do have a spare space, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bedroom. Very decent house, so I'm just very nervous about it because it's a big step. There's been something I wanted to do for a bit. I appreciate your support and advice. I even got my mum into watching your videos. Thanks, man. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, don't be nervous about it, because when you start, you kind of start with nothing, right? And you're only gonna have 1 or 2 people watching. So like, don't overthink it. Just get stuck in and do a stream and find out what the experience is like. I mean, one of the big things people who start out struggle with is that there's no one watching in the beginning, and you know, you're not sure when to talk or not because you're not sure if anyone's listening. But it's just a good idea to get some practice in more than anything, I think. And yeah, another thing, like don't go doing the whole soundproofing thing either. Like, oh, I see some soundproofing setups, and I'm like, it's just such overkill. Like in my room, the soundproofing is I just have a blanket thrown over a clove sauce behind me, and it just stops some of the echo bouncing around the room behind me. That was it. It was just like a really clever little solution. I didn't have to buy loads of those, you know, soundproofing pads that you see some people have in their setup. And also, I've seen those go completely overkill as well, right? Like, it's just it's typical. Like you need knowledge about stuff, and if you don't have the knowledge, you can sort of fall into a trap. And the trap with the soundproofing stuff is that, like, the company will essentially want you to buy more than you need, right? Like they want you to come in and buy tons of the stuff. So when they show you soundproofing setups, it's like you know, a whole room where the walls are all padded with tons and tons of these soundproofing things, and really what you only need is you just need a few in select places. I mean, unless you want to be like a complete professional and have like studio level, I mean I'm talking like top level studio sounding recording, like you don't need to go crazy with it. Like you just need to identify the spots in your room where sound gets trapped, and sometimes it might get trapped because it bounces off of one area into another. Sometimes it might get trapped because you know, that surface is just particularly like reflective. So what you want to do is sort of put them in the spots where they're effective, as opposed to like plastering them everywhere. And yeah, you know, usually in a room, depending on the size of it, you might just need like a handful of pads spaced out and it will disperse the sound. It's like I saw a setup once with... Ooh, where do we want them to go through here? Do we want them to go through this gap? Well, the thing itself is just going to be there. I think we'll like leave it up to a choice at this point. This one. I saw a setup once where someone put the soundproofing behind their monitors. And it's just like, you know, here it is again, like a lack of understanding. If you put soundproofing behind your monitors, what is it soundproofing? Because your voice will go out and it will hit the monitors and it will bounce back towards you. Right? So if you've got soundproofing behind your monitors, it's not doing anything. Simple, cheap soundproofing blankets, says Zimzimmy. Yeah, there you go. That's what I've been using, just a blanket. Just threw it over a clove sauce and that was it. That's all I needed. I had some headrests once, like that you put around your neck for when you're in the car. I had a couple of those and I realised I could just put them under my monitors and they sort of sit in a space where there's a lot of surface that sound can bounce off of. You know, you could throw a... I could do this, so I haven't done it, but you could put like a fabric over your desk so it absorbs the sound as opposed to having lots of vibrations bounce off your desk, for example. I mean, these are the places where the sound is actually like vibrating off of, depending on the proximity to the microphone. So yeah, again, like just a lack of understanding of how sound works, like how vibrations bounce, just leads to people going like overkill and, you know, getting sucked into that trap of like, hey, I'm going to be a streamer, I'm going to spend all this money, and it's very easy to psychologically think spending money like takes you to the next level of that thing you're trying to do, right? Whereas often or not, it's not the key factor. I mean, there's probably a couple of things here and there where like spending money helps and does do that, but it can be a psychological trap to think, oh, I'm gonna, you know, spend a bunch of money and become a streamer or whatever. Like, it might not be the core of what you need. You might need other skills or things, right? Oida Shins is here with the cheers and those biddies, saying, what do you think of using Minecraft videos to add visuals to educational podcasts like for philosophy? I'd say, you know, use whatever tools are on hand, really. It's an interesting question. Thank you for the biddies, Oida Shins. Yeah, I personally, I don't know, it's one, like, if I were to extrapolate what you're asking to something, air quotes, controversial, like, someone says something hateful or that people tend to disagree with and it stirs a controversy, and then something's in the middle of it, like, oh, and it was recorded on this, and then that becomes a part of the problem. That to me always feels like a bit of a non-issue. I mean, obviously not all of these things are the same, but every now and then some sort of controversy happens and it's like, they said this and they said that and they were doing it in Minecraft, and it's like, well, you know, they're also doing it in front of a computer. Should we get mad at computers too? You know, like, you can drag anything into something. So I feel like, you know, using another thing to express an opinion or whatever, that's fine. If that other thing deliberately distorts or adds some sort of context that's important, then yeah, maybe it's a bit different. But otherwise, I don't know. It feels like it shouldn't be an issue really to use something like that. Okay, so this thing, I think I might tear out this pillar, but we'll give it a try. Let's put one more curve in, and then we're probably going to fly this thing again. Also, the camera count's just been left behind for a while, hasn't it? Oh yeah, I need to block that off. Well, actually, I kind of don't, because you know where to go. There's just an opening. Right, and now we're at the next bit. And then after here, actually, we might need to open up the whole place a bit more. Try flying through first. This pillar might be cool. Gives it a choice, as the thingy. Yeah, definitely. Definitely have to fly through it before we remove it. No doubt. I do have like a desire to make these look real good, don't I? But I think that can fare okay for now, maybe. I'm going to change it a little bit. Like that. Turn on mic. Test it. Place temporary soundproof. Test. Move to the soundproofing to another spot. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak to like a process really. Like when I lived at my parents' house, my room had a bass trap in it. So if you were playing music and you stuck your head in one corner, all of a sudden all you could hear was the bass. And so I guess if you used a microphone, that would be like a substitute for using your ears. So that's another thing, like you kind of want to move around the room and hear where the sound gets trapped. I don't think I actually said that earlier, that's kind of important. Ooh, this looks great. And it's going to be quite like the leisurely fly as well. You could take it slow if you wanted to. If you were racing this though... Ooh, that's tricky, that bit, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to keep it like that for a minute. You know, we don't have to make changes straight away. But I think it's camera count time now. So we know we're going to fly through this bit. So it gets a bit narrow. We're going to open it up a little. Not a crazy amount. We've got then a geode that's kind of like... You're going to bump heads on that thing. So we'll knock out the bottom of it. Then we're going to cut under here. So here's where... Oh, you could take so many detours. But since we got such a great path, I kind of want to stick with the vibe that we got. So we're going to hang right and go like all the way along here. And I thought... Wow, look at those caves. The dripstone caves would be super interesting to fly through. There is a bit of an opening. I wonder if we can... Doesn't feel like it's right for flying through with an elytra, this one, but maybe this level... Oh, look at that. That definitely feels like an elytra could go through there. So let's chalk it back down to our path, which is here. It's going to basically go under all of that. And maybe here you could open it up and go up. It doesn't really, I don't really see a path. If we went this way, now the original plan was to follow that back round, but could go off in. Oh, actually, you could go up, and it doesn't connect, or you go around here, and then you got dripstone through a perfect little flight bit. Now, where does this end up? Look at this. This is perfect for flying through. And then you go down here. Hang, okay. And how would we get back to where we were before? Maybe you take like a bit of a U-turn, and then it's like dead ends, you see. Okay. So when we fly through all of this, it's like really easy to lose your bearings. However, we would want to reconnect over here, and then continue flying off in this direction, or that way. Okay, so how can we incorporate all of that? Like, there's a really nice run through all of the deep slate, and you end up in this big pool, and then it actually continues around here. Interesting. This could be used. And then it's kind of heading back. Right, I think we've already come through here. And there's no... See, this is like really starting to get away from my original route. But, I mean, if we just chipped away at this forever, it would be kind of epic. Honestly, it kind of looks like it's just a choice. Which way do I want to go? Because this just goes on, as opposed to coming back. Or we could add like multiple routes over time. So the dripstone run's really cool. But the dripstone run would take us away from here. And then if we stuck to this one without the dripstone, we'd end up going down and around here. Okay, you can see it needs a fair bit of work. Maybe through this space. And then somewhere we're going to come back on ourselves. I think we've gone past that point. Yeah, because the other bit that I want to include in this, I think drops into here. Or have I lost track again? Well, I gotta admit, I'm not... Is it that one? I'm not seeing where this was supposed to go. So, again, it's super difficult to lose track. So, the idea was that I was going to turn left, but then I thought, well, let's utilise what's over there. And then something here is supposed to take us off on another journey, but I don't see it. And the cool thing about this other one is that it went up into the stone level a lot more. Or maybe it was back here. Maybe the turning was here. I'm getting confused. If you go through there, you could go off along here, and then... Yeah, this is where you would go, I think, up. Aha, this is the one. Or is it? Well, you know, like, it's very easy to lose track. This is it. This looks like it. Yeah. Like, you'd have a bit where you come up, and then go around, and then through here. This would be such an amazing Elytra run, right? But the other one looked pretty good too. Well, I think I'm going to go the dripstone route now. I just don't want to hit a dead end, but these things are really everywhere, so I think sticking with like continuity and whatnot is a good idea. So we're gonna pinch out a bit of that, pinch out a bit of the Geode, send you through here, and then it's a nice open run, ignoring these bits to the side until we get here. And maybe, you know, maybe what I'll do is I'll add like another block, and it's like an alternate path. But the bone blocks will take you through here and up, and then into the dripstone caves. Cool. All right. Considering how much we've done so far, well, we've been streaming for an hour. So in an hour, we've managed to go and do all of this. So let's count the amount of bone blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I'm totally not using a calculator right now. I'm just going to use my head to do 16 times 16, because that's the difference between each other. So 256 blocks in an hour. That's an interesting amount, isn't it? So every 1,000 will probably come over 4 hours of work. However, we'll probably get like better and smarter at this as we go along. So yeah, let's continue. This is a great project. We see no calculator, says Becca. Of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't, because it's not being captured by... No. What I mean is I wasn't using a calculator. No. Wasn't doing that. Right, anyway, jokes aside. This is the project. This is the mega project. I love it. The Thinky says this is going to be so cool. Very fun project. Yeah, it really is, actually. Now that I'm here doing it, it kind of like, it goes from just the idea stage to like being a bit more of a reality, and it's like, yeah, no, this is going to be fun. It's like cool to spend time down in the caves. It's great for streaming. We just get to hang out and waffle while we do simple digging stuff, right? So, yeah, the end result's going to be epic as well. Okay, that's looking good. That is looking good to me. So then you can nip through there. And then sort of come down into this spot. So probably want to put some torches strategically closer to other bits. And then we got this bit here. Now, if I just remove the bottom layer, it might help you see. Oh look, a geode. I think what I'm going to do is remove the calcite and the basalt, and then it becomes more of a spectacle when you see all of those purpley blocks, right? I think the white would be quite the contrast, whereas that, like seeing the outside of the geode, could probably look really interesting. I think we're going to fill up... I think someone went AFK there. I think we're going to fill up a box about now, aren't we? See you later, mate. See you later, bruv. Get out of here, you scamp. Right. Need a box. A shulker box. That is what we need. In you go. All the odds and sods. In you go. Including Zelaf's emeralds. The rotted flesh. Yuck. I can go. I just realised the mods have shulker badges. That's cool. Mods have shulker badges? Sumi, you're working on a lighter tunnel, right? Wanted to make sure, says Splash. Yes, and for anyone else not in the know, now you do know. Oh god, it's my face! Get rid of it! Get rid of it. Why did that pop up? Oh, I know why. Wait. Oh god, no! What have I done? I've broken Minecraft. Oh god. My hotbar. Hotbar. Oh god, I'm so confused right now. Jeez. Whatever will I do? Oh, okay, we're back. Right, so the next one's actually like down here in this low area, so I feel like that means probably want to open up a teeny tiny bit more space, especially over at this side. And then maybe at this level too we kind of chip away a little bit. Hey, we got a noise in the ear. What is it here? It's Sinto. For 2 months. Thank you ever so much, my dude. Dang, I just had like a bit of a brainwave. Like, if I had a keyboard with like some cheesy synth sounds, it would be like quite easy to just play a little melody on the fly. I really want to get into my music. I was browsing Amazon looking at keyboards and stuff, and I was just thinking, I'm sort of almost there. I've got this other project coming in. Oh, hello. Coming in and taking up some of my time. Right as I kind of like steer into this this point where it's like I can start dedicating some time to music again. Who knows? Maybe I'll figure it out. But dang, I was playing some GarageBand on the iPad yesterday, and it's so fun. It's so fun just to make melodies. Like, I like to open up GarageBand every now and then and just goof around with it a little bit, you know? It's a very accessible way to make some melodies and stuff. I feel like maybe that one should be diagonal. I like it even though it's not quite there. Maybe it's the better choice. Where's our camera account, by the way? What's that looking at? So yeah, it could go like that instead. Yeah, I feel like that's better. That's better, isn't it? I like the double bone block sound. It's nice. That's not actually built correctly, is it? Hey, we have more noises in the ear. We had Imi 160 for 25 months and Yuri 824 gifting a sub. Thank you so much. Pepper Garibaldi is back. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. Garibaldi. What, from Babylon? Babylon 5, right? God, I enjoyed that show. What have I been watching? Right, I watched the end of Ozarks. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it. Oh, where is the next one on our grid, right? Because we're using this alignment. So the next one is... It's not there, it's back here. Right, it's past the Geode. Interesting. So we'll take care of the Geode, and I'll leave us a little marker just here. Just like that's where the next one is. Okay, now we've got to work on the Geode. I watched the last episode of Ozarks. Stupid Genius says, X, don't you just absolutely hate it when you have to listen to someone ask a really long-winded and extensive question that never actually gets to the point? Oh, God, you think you're so smart. Jeez. Lord Cryptid, thank you for 12 months, a whole year. Awesome, awesome. Every time I mention the Ozarks, no one in my chat talks about it. So I got a feeling that show's not really popular with this crowd. X, I just listened to the album you did a review of. It was great, says Stargazer. What a great opportunity for me to plug some of my other channels, because I do more things than just this. Oh, that's right, I got a music channel. I put reviews on it. Someone apparently listened to that review and liked the album. God, that might be you next if you head over there and subscribe and do all that other stuff. Hit the like button. Oh, jeez, okay. Right, I've gone too far of it. Gone too far. Shut up, X. Stop being cheeky. In all seriousness, go check out the music channel. It's not going to be as like consistent a project as I initially aimed for it to be, but we will keep it trucking along and put on some interesting records from time to time. So yeah, the Ocean Groove record was just awesome. Just loved it really from the get-go, and it was everything I wanted it to be. It's basically like pretty much just the same record as the one before, but you know, a whole bunch of new songs. It was awesome. I started Ozarks, but somehow didn't end up finishing. But I don't mind spoilers. I loved it. Just finished Ozarks a couple of days. So I guess I'll put out a poll, right? I'm going to put out a poll. Manage poll. New poll. The question is Ozarks ending, question mark. Good? Bad? Didn't watch. Right, so if you want to vote, feel free to vote. What is Ozarks? It's a Netflix series. It's one of those shows that I think really takes like a page out of the book of Breaking Bad. And I remember Prison Break, not that I really watched a lot of that show, but I remember Prison Break being the sort of first show to do this. But it's like this constant upping the ante, and it's like every episode is just twist, twist, twist. And that's what Ozarks kind of has going for it. Yeah, let's see. Let's get those results up as well for this poll. Yeah, so 91% of you don't watch the Ozarks. Crazy. I guess it's not like, I don't know, in my mind it was like one of those big Netflix shows, but maybe it's not that big at all, really. Right, I'm kind of thinking I don't want to mine out like a crazy amount of this, so maybe we don't go any higher than that. Maybe we take out a bit more of the cow silo. Isn't it Ozark, not Ozarks? Yeah, it might just be Ozark, but I say Ozarks plural because it's set in the Ozarks, I guess. Okay, let's go across. Prison Break was interesting, then the twist at the end of the first season killed it completely for me. I had zero interest in watching anything else after what they did in the last episode because of the first season. I don't really remember much of watching that show, but I do remember like seeing the nature of the twists a bit plain-faced and just thinking like, you can expect a twist, so it never really drew me in because of that. I like Ruth's character, says Solly. I think everyone did. She's definitely the best character in the show. But yeah, there you go. Like the poll's still going on. So only 1% of you, or let's say 3 votes to 16 for good to bad, because most of you didn't watch, thought the ending was bad. I find that interesting because I thought the ending... I felt like it was very... I was disappointed by it, but I don't think it's a disappointing ending. I think it's... not really sure quite what to say. It's just... I don't know. It wasn't special, maybe, is what to say. Like... in general, though, I felt like the show could have ended sooner. So, because it's a show about doing twists constantly, and the pieces on the chessboard are always being shuffled about dramatically... it kind of lost its charm, I felt like, in the 4th season, because there was just so much back and forth over and over again for like the final conclusion, if you like. And then the final conclusion, and here's the spoiler, is that it kind of ends on proposing that there's like one last problem they're encountering, and then the one who solves it is the sun. And he solves it in a way that means they've corrupted him, essentially, right? He solves this problem, and then it's like, the whole show, it's like you're thinking about these kids and like what they're going through, and they kind of just get their arm twisted by their mother and manipulated and all this kind of stuff. And so it's like the conclusion, the idea of it being like, oh, the kids were corrupted, is actually like not that bad. It's like a pretty gratifying character arc, because it says something about like the nature of maybe family sticking together, corruption. You could think about it a lot. You could read into it a lot. But it was done so swiftly. It was like there was no time to see the character turn. It was just kind of like the conclusion was, oh no, they've turned. That kind of thing, right? Like, and they played such a big game of like twisting and turning at the last minute that they didn't really like build up that character's change of heart, I guess you could say, to undertake the actions that they did. And so for that reason, the ending did not feel right to me. However, the concept of the kids turning is a pretty good ending, because they're at the heart of the whole show in a way, and you feel for them a lot because they're constantly being manipulated by their mother and they're just in a horrible situation. So that could be like a really good conclusion. It was just so swiftly done. It was done like a cliffhanger, whereas I feel like when you end a show, you don't want to hit them with like a last minute slap. Like, oh my god, what happens now? I've got so many questions, right? Not that it was quite like that, but that's kind of how it felt. Felt like a bit of a cliffhanger moment, even though it wasn't a cliffhanger. I'm sure you understand what I mean if you saw it. But there were so many other ways that it could have played out. Like, I was, I was watching the episode and not realizing how close to the end of the runtime I was. And if I had noticed, I probably would have suspected it's going to end the way it did. But like, I kind of felt like this could go further now. Like, the show spent so long keeping all the characters in this situation of like the twisting, the back and forth, what's going to happen, that I was, like there's always going to be loose threads. There's always going to be things that come back and haunt you. And so it felt like they could go so much further with, what happens next. Whereas most of the show tends to just linger in the same place, the same scenario. So in my mind, I was kind of expecting to see a little bit of them going back to Chicago, and then like maybe something happens, someone you forgot about comes out from the past and gets their revenge or something like that. But no, they kind of pose it down to like, here's this one last loose thread, and the twist is kids have been corrupted, like, and it just happens so quick. Yeah. So I don't know. It felt like I'm just very kind of disappointed, not terribly disappointed, but just a bit of a. Felt like they could have done more with that ending. There was an opportunity to do a lot more. Sano Scarva says, kind of reminds me of Supernatural, though I didn't actually finish that series. It was just a bit pathetic, a bit off. I haven't seen Supernatural. I'm not even sure what that show is. Like, it doesn't conjure up an image in my mind or anything. But yeah, some shows end because, like, like the show gets cut and the writers are just kind of like stuck mid-story and they have to be like, okay, well, we've got to figure something out. So that can happen, which is unfortunate. I don't know the specifics of Supernatural. And, ending a show in a gratifying way is a tricky thing to do. I think Breaking Bad did it extremely well. That was the show all nerdy teens obsessed over. Oh, okay. If that's what you say. Right, so yeah, you fly through here, you see the Geode. This looks kind of awkward, really. Bit more like that. Maybe just close off this gap a little bit. I still need to do like the pass for the reverse, because you can fly it in the other direction. So, at some point we'll make sure it looks good that way too. Don't really want any skellies down here kind of shooting at the player. That's the other thing. I could remove all the light sources and it's like a dangerous in the dark one, but I think what I'm going to... Oh! Dear Lord, I'm going to do a... I'm going to do a non-creeper one. We're going to do like, what would you say? A friendly course where there's not going to be stuff shooting at you. Right, I'm going to drink some water and I think I'm going to switch to sitting. Yeah, Breaking Bad not only had a decent ending, but overall the last season was as good as the ones before, says Quip Idibi. Yeah, I feel like that show just gets progressively better. The one thing I'll say about the last season is I noticed a shift in the editing style. There's lots of musical sequences with like dubstep songs and stuff. So that one's a bit like it's got like you notice the shape of it is a little different. Have you seen Better Call Saul? Yeah, that's probably like I think I might in some ways enjoy that show even better than Breaking Bad. But yeah, can't wait for that one to end. Enjoy the ending of that. I'm pretty sure they're going to land the ending really well, but I also am pretty sure I know what's going to happen to Kim in that show. Right, you could call this a spoiler if you watch it, but I'm just speculating. The relationship between her and Sol is like a big arc in that story, and she isn't in Breaking Bad. I despise Breaking Bad, says Molmon. Well, you know what I always say when someone's like, oh, I hate this thing, I hate that thing. You know, the arts, TV shows, entertainment, music, Minecraft streamers. I mean, when you get sucked into that world of like focusing on all the negativity, you miss out on what's positive. You miss out on what's to be liked. And, you know, I always felt like it's easy to be like a little bit contrarian and not like the thing that everyone's into at the moment because it's popular or whatever. But like at the end of the day, life's too short for like hating on Breaking Bad. I look at it through my own eyes as if I'm sitting here like, oh, I hate this thing. It's like, well, I'm missing out on it. Like whatever it is other people like about it, I'm not participating in that. And you know, you might actually miss out on some stuff that's more to your taste than you realise. Just because you got that perception that, I don't like it. Because someone who doesn't like Breaking Bad, I'm going to guess, hasn't watched every episode of it. You know what I mean? Like, tends to be like that. So I look for reasons to enjoy things and try not to hate stuff. Because you could potentially be missing out on something you actually really enjoy. Cough cough, Marvel Cinematic Universe is the thinky. Yeah, I'm missing out on all of that stuff, right? Like I can't get into it. I haven't really tried. I've watched a few movies, it weren't for me. But hey, I'm the one missing out on it, right? Okay, so we're still sticking left, we're still part of that. I feel like the dripstones are going to be part of the puzzle, really, the way they stick out of the ground. So we'll patch up this little hole, but we're going to have to keep some of that. We're going to need some more torches down here too. Yeah, that's nicely patched up now, isn't it? And I need more torches. Definitely need more torches. X, please tell us what you think will happen to Kim, says Seth Live. I mean, do I have to spell it out, right? She's not in Breaking Bad. Kim's arc is that she has like a high moral standard and, you know, has that sort of purity of heart where in her profession she wants to help people more than make money. And Sol is slowly corrupting that, and it means he gets what he wants. They get married. They're closer together. But you can see it on his face throughout, and you can see it on hers as well. Like that, sometimes she struggles with it a bit. But on Sol, you can see that he's burdened by how she's changing because of him, and he probably doesn't actually want that. And so she's going to become a consequence of that change at some point, and it's going to, you know, again, spoiler possibly, I think it's going to end with her being killed, and possibly in front of Sol. Right? And then Sol's just, as a response to that, going to, in one way or another, end up being the character that he is in Breaking Bad. Like, that's going to push him further into being like a criminal lawyer who's going to, you know, do all the dodgy stuff to get the result or whatever. That's potentially what I see playing out. It really feels like we're being led in that direction. I mean, I could have it completely wrong. She could just disappear from the show for other reasons. Maybe like a line is overstepped and they just go their separate ways. But I can't help but feel like the dramatic thing to do is that her life is ended. Who's Kim and why things are happening to us, this short insomniac? If you're not watching the show, you're not in the know. That rhymes, and that's cool. Right, yeah, the next one is right here, isn't it? Dripstone be gone. There we go. X, do you have any film entertainment company that you enjoy for their projects? For me, I really like A24. They have a few masterpieces, in my opinion. I tend not to like take too much note of like studios. Directors are definitely something I've cottoned onto a bit more over time. I mean, everyone's aware of like Steven Spielberg or whatever, but like there's a few other directors I've cottoned onto having decent projects and stuff over time. As for studios, like Liongate Studios was one that sort of made a bit of an impression back in the day with Saw, and then them just like taking so many more chances on other types of movie back then that they kind of made a bit of a name for themselves, I guess you could say. But in general, I don't really like notice studios in that way. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. There's a few like franchises or whatever I like. I think I've given up on Star Trek ever being anything like it once was. The latest season of Picard started out really interesting, and then just goes down the deep end on. God, every episode of that show is just like Picard wandering around this house as a child over and over again. It's painful to watch. Yeah, that show is just, I don't know. Not really into it. I mean, if it were like not Star Trek and just some show, I'd probably like not think of it in the same way, because when you see that character Picard, you're just thinking of like all the Next Generation adventures that they went on, and how different this feels from all of that. But you know, what was I saying a minute ago about finding reasons to like enjoy stuff, right? Like I enjoy it on some level. I'm being a bit pedantic. It's all right, but nothing special. They completely ruined the Borg. Real Star Trek fans hate Picard, says More T. Yeah, they definitely, like, they go so far off the track. Like, again, spoilers, but like, there's this scene where the thing that convinces the Borg to change their mind about assimilation and all this is just a conversation with a newly assimilated individual, and it's just like, this is like the point of the Borg, right? Is that they don't think and feel like that. It just really, I don't know, it really feels like so disconnected from what they're supposed to represent, the terror that they're supposed to be. The Borg were introduced after the Ferengi failed, right? The Ferengi were supposed to be this fear capitalism type villain of the universe, because they're like ultra capitalism is what the Ferengi are, and then they just ended up looking ridiculous and hilarious, and they weren't really the scare factor that the show was looking for. Oh, that looks terrible. What did I do there? Dang. So yeah, so then they introduced the Borg, and the Borg is amazing. Just this idea that there's like a technologically integrated species out there that's so like far removed from whatever it once was, and all it does is just like engulf everything in its path no matter what. Like, that's amazing. And then they've built up all of this like encounters, interactions with the Borg, and then in this show it's like, oh, but no one little heartfelt conversation changes all of that, does it? No, it doesn't. It's silly. Borg are immune to treaties and politics. The Federation has no choice but to see them as a threat, says Morty. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm open to like that changing. Like, the Borg would like adapt to certain scenarios, right? And when you first see them, and I think you see them under the context that they want to talk to Picard and that they potentially like offer some form of peace treaty, like something could happen to the Borg that means they have to change their ways to survive. But this ain't it. Like, it's not a conversation that does that. Anyway, it's like super exciting to see the Borg at first, and then it just quickly starts to go downhill. Have you seen any of Star Trek Discovery? Because I've seen no Borg in it, says Minister. I watched, I think, the first 2 seasons, and I remember the first one. I was like, this is kind of all right. This is kind of okay. I'm into this. And then like it went a bit downhill. And then I think I watched like 1 episode of season 3, and I was like, I'm done. And I was looking at the ratings for the episodes, and season 5, is it? Like, it looks like it's taking a bit of a nosedive. But you know, the times have changed. It's really interesting. Like, I think my gut feeling would be that it would be very hard to convince a studio to create a Star Trek that is going to be like the vintage 90s stuff, right? Like, because I was thinking you could just literally resurrect the technology and aesthetics that were used to record these shows, and that would like aid massively in creating I'm going to make this one a diagonal, I think, in creating the feel a little bit more authentic and closer to the original show. But like, the reality is probably that studios aren't going to budget stuff that tries to emulate the past, because then it's going to appeal to a really small audience, and they probably need it to appeal to like new fans. Like, they're probably thinking, we need Star Trek to appeal to a new audience, and therefore, you know, they're going to make it like it's a new modern show. And the abomination we get. I'm messing with you. It's not awful. It's just not what it once was. Charby, thank you very much for the support. Becca11, another gifted sub. Thank you so much. Grace Dorian, be sure to say thanks in the chat. And MK O'Brien is here for 10 months. Thank you so much. Yeah, Chief O'Brien in The Next Generation. What's the actor's name? Because I was listening to something the other day, and they like introduced something, and I was like, oh, that's the transport chief. Had the same name. Not the Colin Meaney. Oh no, Cole Meaney. Oh right, no. It was the character name then. Oh, for some reason I muddled that up in my head. So Chief O'Brien. What's his name? What's his first name? Is it Patrick? But like, someone had the same name. It was like on the radio or something, and I was like, oh, Miles. That's it. Yeah, Miles O'Brien. And and I was like, you have the same name as the Chief Transport bloke on Star Trek. Yeah, very mildly interesting, X. Right, I'll continue watching for a little bit longer, but that was very mild. I'm critiquing myself. Okay, there we go. Here, right. Let's get this one wrapped up. Should probably fly this thing again soon. I think I'll put in one more and then we'll give it some flight. We get to fly it both ways because I've got to go all the way back to the start, haven't I? Right, so that was the one that came out from here. So the next one comes out from there. Again, I'm going to go diagonal. This feels perfect for a diagonal. Diagon Alley. It's Diagon Alley. Right. I think we need to rip out a couple of blocks. Speaking of old Ratcliffe, I bookmarked a movie to watch. Guns and Amoeba or something. Apparently, like, I don't know if I've seen it or not, but it's a Ratcliffe movie where he's got guns for arms or something. I was just like, okay, let's give that a try. X, how's the Reddit embargo going? Still don't have the app? Oh yeah, it's uninstalled. It remains uninstalled. And I guess I'm a little... It's called Guns Akimbo. That's it, yeah. I guess I'm a little more disconnected from the world of opinion and who's mad about what now, I guess. Oh, and y'all can help me with something here, right? So I heard about this subscription service called Autumn, which takes journalism and puts it into audio form. So you can hear from like all the papers and whatnot, you know, the New York Times or whatever, and listen to their content in audio form. The only thing is you have to pay for it, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to get what I was looking for. So I started like browsing around for a few other things, and I thought I'd ask all of y'all if any of you out there have had... Why does this look... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh god, this looks terrible. Well, I'm glad I got the camera count going. Got it totally wrong over here. I thought I'd ask if any of y'all have something similar or know about something where... You know, because I was thinking, I do want to be informed about what's going on in the world, but like... in a better way than reading Reddit. So like, I really love listening to audiobooks. Maybe there's something similar for journalism, as I heard about this Autumn thing. Audible, people are saying in chat. That sounds interesting. Wait. Did I say audible and now you're all like, you're a derp saying the wrong word again? That's probably the most likely thing, right? This is just about getting there, I think. What we're doing right now. Yeah, Audible, but for journalism, like, you know, breaking news stories, whatever. Read some actual articles about it. I think what I'm going to do is rip out all of those and then put one and like that. Yeah, maybe it just needs like one more at the top and bottom as well. Ugh. Okay, so Audible is a reference to Grian's video. Alright. Let's get back up there then. Anyway, like I'm scanning chat and I'm not seeing much, but if you happen to be listening, maybe on the second channel, and you want to tweet me if you know something, that'd be greatly appreciated. I kind of feel like I want to give some of the more traditional journalism a try. I know it's like come under fire a lot for some of their takes, which have been pretty awful. Like I've been listening to this podcast that I'll talk about when I'm finished. That's been honestly like just absolutely amazing, because it's literally like a trip through time for me as a YouTuber, because I've been close to and followed all the big controversies on YouTube. Even the stuff that isn't controversial comes up. Like, it's been a bit of a like a trip over the last like 10 to 11 years on YouTube's evolution, like culturally, and the events that have happened along the way. Why did I start talking about this? What was it I heard? Oh yeah. So along the way, like, there was that whole incident where the sort of traditional media, what they call it, legacy media now, kind of went up against PewDiePie and tried to like portray him as a Nazi and stuff, and it was so bizarre at the time. And reflecting on it, it just kind of reminded me, like, it's things like that, it's moments like that that have given journalism a real bad name, and I feel like there is value in journalism when it's done correctly, and it's, you know, it may have gone under a real reputation hit over the years, but like there's probably still, there's got to be some decent journalism out there that isn't all just clickbait and stuff, right? And I'd like to try and find something like that to stay informed on. I guess maybe it doesn't even have to be like traditional journalism, but surely there's like a better way to stay informed out there other than just the typical like hate training that appears on Twitter every time Elon Musk does something, you know? It's like everyone's in a scramble to use their logic and their reasoning to to like condemn this latest thing that he's done or said, and it's just so tiring. It's like, either like talk about what's actually going on and let me like make my own opinion, or I don't know, or something else, because it's just tiring reading those things. Yeah, the media against Pewds was wild. It was super wild. Like, it was just so blatant, and who were they trying to, like, fool? It just, I don't know, the whole thing was, like, real bizarre when you look back on it. It just makes no sense. Ah, logic and reason, that's the worst, says the Thinky. Yeah, it's been, like, logic and reason has been a real thing for me that's hit me lately, is that I'm seeing it more and more in myself and sometimes in others. Not in a judgmental way, but just that, like, logic and reason are actually, like, quite elusive things to apply to emotions and perspectives. And so, people like to argue with, like, logic and reason, but it tends to be that most emotional responses can be supported with some form of something that sounds logical. So maybe it's all, like, a little bit more elusive than you think. Wow, that goes off into the darkness over there. That's like new unfound territory. We look at the camera count, there's mobs up there. This is where we swing around here. This is going to be super cool, this project. Super duper cool. So, oh, it looked like I left a bit of a pillar back there. That needs cleaning up. Oh, do you know what I should totally do? I should put like a... at the entrance of this thing, I also need a rocket shop. Oh! I just gave myself an idea. Okay, right. Let's run the track. I mean, it's going to be less than a minute for hours of work, but dang, is it like super cool. Oh, okay. So that's. Oh, I might die. Yeah, some of these are a little bit tricky. Then maybe I'll get better as we fly through it over and over. Vertical integration, right there. That's a bit of like a techie business term, isn't it? Aha. The old vertical integration. So, yeah, I'm really happy with that. I gave myself an idea, though. Like, let's just go back to the beginning with our camera account. Am I going the right way? I'm going the right way. So the beginning of all of this is back here. Now, the shopping area is in this direction, a very long ways away. So you see where Gigalogs is? I mean, you know, maybe we could have an entrance right here, because no one's doing anything right here in this spot. You know, I could totally come over here, knock out all of these blocks. I'll just chuck them in my chests, take all that stuff away because it's in the way. What if there's like a cave that happens to go like in that direction, and there's lush caves down here? Dang. Okay. I mean, it might be lower down. It might be tricky to find, but like there's this. Huh. Sort of going up here, and then you get dead-ended unless you go through there. So there are like something. Who's branch mining at that level? What are you looking for? There's not anything big, bold, and direct. But there are a few things kind of going back in this direction. Maybe we unflood some things along the way. This is like it. Okay. You know, then it comes over here. It'll take a long time for me to like study the map and figure it out, but I mean, you can come this way a little bit, and then it's like, where do you go from there? You could open this bit up. You don't want to spend ages opening tons of stuff up. You really want to find what's already open. Anyway, if it could link up with something like this, swoop down into here, come through this spot. Oh wow, up here into this space. Did it go higher? Maybe up to this level? So where are we at now? Like, there's things here that can be, yeah, like you could bust up into this, come through here, get rid of the water, and then where are we now? We're like part of the way there. In fact, we could keep removing the water. There's definitely going to be a way to do this, isn't there? And then into these lush caves. Definitely got to have the track. Okay, so we can expand it in both directions to lush caves and dripstone, and then end up over here. So Maybe I'll plan like an entrance spot somewhere around here. And that'll be the start of it. Hey, good to see Fozzie in chat. But anyway, we need to just crack on with what we're... Wait, wasn't Ren online a second ago? We need to crack on with what we're doing here, really. Can't be dreaming too much. We are making steady progress, though. But we got more blocks to place. I'm adding unflood to my vocabulary list. Yeah, unflood. It's a good one. It's a good one if you ask me. Right, I'll have this on now, but here's the thing. We've got to light everything up, really. Right, and we know where we're going in this space. Might be helpful to use this for a little bit, actually. You don't really need to spam the torches as much to stop the mobs spawning. Yeah, so we had like a curved one, then we had a flat one. So the next spot for one is here. So I actually feel like if we put one there, you're going to lure the player up into this a little bit. And then maybe another one there, or would it be further on? Well, there's definitely be one here. We put this one in first, we can kind of look at where the next one looks comfortable. Evil X Angry K9. 84 months, 7 years, 50 years for a K9. Dang. That's amazing. Thank you so much for the continued support, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the project we're doing here. This is an exciting one. Exciting new project. Oh. Falling down. I'm going to need the help of that camera account, I think. Let's get that into position. Yeah, that's too big. I can see it already where it's too big. I don't have a lot of deep slate for this one, do I? And I'm not out of bone blocks, am I? I've still got more. Let's check out that camera count again. So how's that look? Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. Cool. I think what I will do though is replace a couple of these blocks up here. Oh, that one didn't break. And now it's broken. Oh god, I did it all wrong. Right, there we go. Those are out. Pick some of them up. Get rid of this, and we're good. Whew, I like it. So yeah, between this one over here and that one, we can potentially have like one there, and then one here. But in all honesty, I feel like just putting it right in the middle is the way to go. So let's grab the camera account. You know, these rules never really have to be perfect, do they? You know, perfect distances between stuff always just slows you down. How about ending or starting an elytra course with some rings above the ground? I don't really want to do that because this is going to take like an immense amount of time, and it's really about exploring what's underground. So, in my mind, it doesn't make much sense to have an above ground part. Oh yeah, let's use the camera account again. That feels I'm gonna remove. I think I'm actually gonna remove this pillar here. Come in by one. And we got some gifted subs from Rita. Oh, I totally butchered that. Ritata Moon. Thank you for gifting subs to Loud Noise, RPG Madness, Jane Cole, Derek, Eternity 609. If you heard your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat, and I apologise for the butchering of the name. I'm useless. God, what is wrong with me? How are we going to do this bit? Oh, it's always super tricky. Let's come down to this level. Go 1, 2. Then we're up at that level. 2 again, I think. And hop over to this level. 1 there. 1 here. And maybe I'll even put a torch. Ooh, we don't want that stuff falling down. A torch somewhere around here. Oh, I've got that double sound going on. It sounds nice for the calcite too, actually. Right, let's take a step back. Yeah. There's a bit like on its own, but that's fine. Just steers you on to the next one, doesn't it? As for patching up this area, you don't really come close to much with your elytra, so I feel like we could probably leave it alone for now. A surface entrance would be cool. You could look down into the course, says the Thinky. Well, we'll build like a starting area, and I imagine that that will include something visual. You know, there'll be a building, and maybe we'll design it so that the building looks down into the start of the course. Yeah, leaving little openings like this doesn't really make much of a difference, does it? So we'll have that there. The trick with lighting it up is that we don't want that. We don't want skeletons coming around and being snipers while you're flying through. Do we now? We wouldn't want that. Would you die already? I like the nice lethal walls and corners, says Devin Crates. I am actually aiming to make this thing more... That was weird. More of a fun ride than... Dang, where did I come from? I'm trying to make this thing more of a fun ride than a, you know, a challenging course or whatever. Ha, look where it goes to. So I will try and shape it up so it's not too deadly. There are some tough spots on the way, aren't there? And you know, we're going to have time trials, but it's going to be like a friendly competition. It's not going to be one of those maddeningly difficult courses. So we've actually done several of these, right? Like we did in season 4, Cubvan did an elytra race. It came back in season 6 when Grian did one, and then season 7 I did one around my base. Okay, this is too high up, I think. Let's have a look. I'm not really sure if I'm breaking that off correctly. I think it might actually just be beneficial to have it like sort of hug the cave, so to speak. Just like that, and then get rid of all of this. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that on this one. So yeah, we've had several elytra courses in the seasons of Hermitcraft, and they've offered a variety of like challenges. Like the one around my base was a showcase of the base, but it was also me trying to be a little bit tricky and offer the players a challenge. This time I'm not doing any of that. This time it's just like enjoy the ride. And yeah, there'll be a time trial, but don't take it too seriously. Hey, False is in chat. Anyone know where he's building this? All over the place, under the ground. We got like a massive route that goes... it looks like it's going to stretch it towards the shopping area. And then it goes off into the distance underneath Doc's villager area, I think is mostly where it is. If you're concerned about like going into caves under someone's base, I don't think it really goes anywhere quite like that. As long as it's not under yours, it's all good. Yeah, it's not even going near yours, so don't worry. And I don't think it really goes into anyone else's underground territory. It's sort of between all that stuff. Which is quite fortunate, really, because That's just where the caves go. They just happen to like... Well, the caves are everywhere, so you can sort of like pick what you want, but these are some good old caves that we found for this project. Hey look, we'll come up to sort of stone level up here, dang. I think I'll get rid of this bit of water over here too. Oh, I said. It's all the way up here, is it? Ah! There it goes. So yeah, this, what we're looking at right here, was the alternate route back. Maybe we'll branch out and do alternate routes at some point in time, but for now, I need to double check where this goes actually. So like, I'll tell you what, that does look a bit off. Maybe it's not too bad. I can always change it if it's really a bother. Oh my goodness me, there's creepers coming for me. Luna Crumpet, thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Right, that took care of those. Right, back to the camera account. I'm pretty sure we go... Oh, no, no, no. We go through here. Yep, and then we go up there. But not up there. Watch out for the creeper. Up here. Yep, that's the one. Right, I now know where we're going. So, good thing I double checked. We are turning the corner here. And that means that the next one that we're going to build is supposed to be here. We need to make it come out into this space to make it really obvious you're going in that direction. Interesting. It looks a good size. Shape is a bit odd, says the Thinky. We'll probably come back and modify it, I'm sure. Right, this one's an important one, so we've got to do this one. Right, let's get that camera account lined up where I want to see it. Uh-huh. The diagonal ones are always a pain, aren't they? Do we have any deep slate? There we go. So I think what we'll do here is a 2 and a 1. Check the camera count. Yeah, that kind of works. And then this thing needs to go like a couple blocks higher, I reckon. Happy Cat 1928. Thanks for gifting a sub to Full Symmetry. Appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. Thanks for supporting a fellow. Othello. Like the play. A fellow hermit. Right, diagonals, they're just slow and awkward, aren't they? And now I can't see what I'm doing. I shouldn't have put away all that deep slate in the shulker box earlier. I don't know why I did that. I still need it for building. So we've got like 2 there, so this would be 1 here. Let's see what we're doing on the camera. Yeah, another 2 and then a 1. So here it will just be mirrored. Like that. And now we get to bounce out of here. Yeah, it might be a good idea to fill in a little bit of this at this level, just so as you approach, maybe it looks a little less crazy and chaotic down here. But there it is. Okay, let's turn off this now. Yeah, it needs a torch up there, doesn't it? Somewhere up there it needs a torch. And then the next ones that we build are going to be diagonal and in the middle of a deadly ravine. Don't even know how to begin with this. I might put them sort of lower down and then create that kind of like swoop up. So you sort of like start lower down, then you swoop up. Huh. Okay, and I really got no idea at what point I'm in now. Okay, so I've reached the end of where I should be placing torches. But if I go to the side here and put some up the wall, it should give us a bit of an indicator or a reminder that we're heading up there next. God, I can hear all the baddies. Ugh, my parkour skills are terrible. Yeah, so we're going to have to put... Let's think about this for a second. Like, probably want to keep the player at this sort of height, so we'll have some bones that don't touch the ground. They'll just be coming out the walls. If we get that nice regular spacing going on, it'll be like maybe one sort of in this spot, then in that spot, and here. I don't know. We'll find a way to space it out, and then we'll have to change and probably have like the ring sort of level with the floor. If you imagine a flat floor here, like we'll have it there, so you'll see it above you, and you'll turn up, and then you're probably going to need like one right here on the right hand side, and then at some point we'll return to normality as the player goes through all of this spot. Cool. Right, my job is done for now with this. I'm really pleased with how far we got. You know what's next though? Oof. Right, I'm putting in extra concentration right now, because earlier I think I was waffling and hitting stuff. Yeah, I definitely got to do something about those pillars. It feels like it's not clear if you should sort of go around them or with them. And we're going to go back in this direction as well. So maybe in the next one I'll extend it in the other direction too. Rightio then. I'm not trying to do this as fast as I can, but I am trying to... Yeah, that's like not quite as obvious there, that turn. Then it gets tricky there, right. Yeah, this I think definitely needs some work in spots. No, don't shoot me. Because they're not particularly the friendliest to navigate. But it's all obvious where you're going, and then there it's not. And the next bone is supposed to be down here. So I'm probably actually going to have to build it like pretty darn close, or maybe even close all of that up. I think closing up the cave might make it easier to tell you where you need to go. Dude, don't even right now. Right, hey Xisuma, what's the mega project, says Max Wilson. You just saw it. You just saw it, my dude. There is 1,900 you tuned in. Be sure to hit the follow button. My next stream is probably going to be... Tuesday, I reckon? Tuesday. There's ice down here. Probably going to be Tuesday. Anyway, I need to find someone to raid. I don't know if there's another hermit streaming. There is not. Let's go into the Minecraft category and I'll find a small channel. But as you might have suspected, we have reached the end of the live stream, so be sure to hit that follow button. Thank you for all your support, peeps. It's greatly appreciated. I want to say thanks to all the peeps who subscribe, resubscribe, donate and cheer. All my patrons, the mods, and all the peeps gifting subs. Y'all are amazing. Right, I'm going to send you someone who's apparently been playing hardcore for 10 years. Which I realise makes no sense because it hasn't been in the game for this long. I think it's Minecraft days is the idea. Okay, anyway. We're raiding a random channel to support the community. That's how we do around here. And I finally got it set up. There it is. Alright, thank you everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.